weight and how the district, there was a change in the weights. We also had a change in the funding. That was also the case for concentration of poverty as well, and the small school supplement. And so if you take those three items and see, that's a decrease of, was that about $80,000 right there? But we gained money in EIP. So again, that's not necessarily a good thing, but what that does say is that we need more support. Like, more of our students are starting to qualify for early intervention, and so we need more support. And so that's what that is. You can see going further down, they gave us a little bit more money in our signature programming, took away some in Title I, and so on and so forth. And then we got that flex. Now, the total allocation, so the difference, we received just under $400,000 more than we did last year. However, we don't have CARES funding either. So it just about equaled out. It just about equaled out. And again, I am in the early stages of trying to allocate these funds, and always the purpose is to make sure that the support is in place for our students, which really equates to everyone having a job coming back. We don't really have any positions here because, again, we're such a small school. We don't receive a lot of funding. We don't have a lot of people just around. So people that work at Humphries and many of the other smaller schools, they're constantly busy, constantly doing things with students. And so our goal is to always keep them coming back, supporting our students. Okay, any questions? There is a slide that we'll go to for questions, but I can definitely answer any questions at this point anyone may have. Okay. What's next? January Go Team budget allocation meeting. Again, that is this meeting, January 24th. I will have our have one-on-one conversations with our associate superintendents. We also have support sessions up until then. I actually have a support session tomorrow to discuss some things with HR, human resources, and the budget team. You have cluster planning sessions, so that this is really just the season for budgets, and we'll have planning sessions, support sessions now until we actually adopt the budget. And in March, we will get that scheduled. That'll be the final Go Team approval meeting where this body will vote on and adopt next year's budget. Okay, now any questions? Okay, if there are no questions, please, again, I am always an email or a phone call away if I can clear up anything for you all at any time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Trimble, for sharing this final budget. We will now need to discuss the final budget addresses our school strategic plan and identify priorities. Are there any questions that people have for discussion? Okay. Well, our next action item, as a result of the discussion, this gives you an opportunity to, again, make sure that you don't have anything to discuss in the result of the presentation. All righty. Then we will move on to information items at this time. First, is there a principal's report?
Nothing really to report at this time. Again, I do want to make everyone aware of the new students that we are receiving. So that really impacts school wide, because for many different reasons. One is just when we receive students, Humphreys has a culture. If you ever come to visit, come, stay around. We have a culture. And so when we bring those students and those families in, we're trying to indoctrinate them into our culture. And so that's kind of what we're doing. We're trying to learn them and their strengths, need areas academically. And so it really, puts a lot of pressure on the teachers and other support staff when we have that many new students coming in. So um, that is something that we are working through right now. We have several events coming up. Um, One is next week, next Tuesday, our STEM PBL night, led by Miss Lanier. We will engage in that on next Tuesday. And then the month of February, we have NAEP, which is, you probably have heard of the Nation's Report Card. So our fourth grade students will be participating in NAEP, and that's a very important, because again, that is a national test or international, because that kind of shows us where United States students stack up against other international countries. That'll be going on, as well as Valentine's parties and dance. And then our Black History week-long programming will take place at the end of the month. Followed shortly right thereafter with our college and career readiness week. So some busy times. In between all of that, we're still trying to push reading, writing, and mathematics. And so busy times, and we appreciate you all's support.
Thank you, Mr. Trimble. We will now move on to our announcements. Does anyone else have any announcements at this time? There's two announcements that I just want to bring to everyone's attention. The first one is that a training, we all have to take the financial budget training. So I'm pretty sure everyone have received that email. If you have not, please let me know and I can follow up on that. But if you haven't already done so, please complete that training as soon as possible. The second thing I want to bring to everyone's attention is that since we have come back from our winter, I call it a holiday break, we've been struggling with our attendance. And not only that, once we had that shutdown when we were expecting some really bad weather, that also impacted us. And so in your communities, if you can just make sure that we are speaking about attendance and how important for the kids to show up for school, that would be awesome. If you have any ideas that you want to share that you think we can incorporate here on a school level, let me know, and we'll definitely take a look at that. And so those are the only two additional things that I have. Anyone else? All right. Well, we have reached the end of our agenda. Is there any additional business at this time? If not, may I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I move that we adjourn the meeting.
A second?
I second that motion.
Thank you. All in favor, please raise your hand or use the reaction button to raise the thumb.
Mr. Chairman, I lost a connection there for a moment. What's the motion?
Okay, so the motion was to adjourn.
Oh.
Ms. Reese Kelly
All right.
made the motion.
And it was seconded by whom?
Ms. Lanier.
All right. And we're
Okay.
voting now?
Yes.
All right.
Welcome, Ms. Barnes.
Good afternoon, Ms. Barnes.
Oh, good afternoon. I'm sorry. I thought it was at 4:30. I apologize, guys.
It's okay. We were just getting ready to adjourn the meeting. Okay, we had a motion and it was second. So everyone at this time was just voting. Okay. All opposed? Any abstentions? All right. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
All right, thank you all. Have a good evening.
Mr.
Thank you.
Charles, if you can just email whatever you have, I can go ahead and get that to Ms. Campbell and myself, and we'll go ahead and document that information.
Yes.
Sounds good?